Why, hello there, audience. I'm back, that's right. It's my third weekly college blog, and this time I'm coming to you from the depths of the Say Home Hill Arboretum, which is the arboretum directly bordering Western Washington University. It's actually quite a beautiful place, and I'd love to show you around in a minute, but first, I'd like to talk about a couple of significant developments over the past week, one of which happened quite recently. Of course, what I'm talking about is the Indian Street riot that happened last night. To be honest, even though I wasn't there, I heard quite a lot about it, and people had been hearing sounds from just their dorms, which is pretty crazy. It was that close. Indian Street, just to kind of give a brief location kind of backstory, is the street that collides with the main street that comes into campus, and as it turns out, there's a park that is maybe a couple blocks away, Laurel Park, and that's where this actually went down, is at Laurel Park on Indian Street. It was quite a snafu. Apparently some sort of block party got broken up by the police, and these were Western students who were rioting, which to me is completely abominable, and rather disappointing. Fortunately, I wasn't there on scene, and I was busy having my own fun here on campus. But, all the same, I thought it was worthwhile to note that yes, I am indeed alive, and no, I wasn't involved in any of that. Thank goodness for that. But anyway, that's just one of those things that kind of brings life a little closer to home for you. Bad things can happen, and yes, they can happen close by. So, always keep an eye out and stay vigilant. At any rate, now we can move on to a few more academic developments. Classes. Yes, once again, they're pretty great. I had my first math exam on Friday, and I'm pretty confident that I did well in it. I had to go back and correct a few mistakes, but otherwise, Calc has been my weakest subject in my opinion so far, and if I can do well in this, that means I'm a happy camper. It's just a shame they don't let you pitch tents here and actually camp. And as far as other classes go, they seem to be progressing quite well. I've got an essay actually coming up on, I believe it's October 25th for honors, which should be neat. The essay is basically open-ended. Find an interesting question and try to answer it by finding the truth about it. That's definitely the most open-ended essay I've ever had to write, so I'm looking forward to that. And so far everything else seems to be progressing pretty well. But that's really not what you're here about anyway, is it? No, you're here to hear about humans versus zombies. That's right. You see, recently I registered for this fantastic little game of pseudo-tag, and it starts next Wednesday. This should be very interesting. As a matter of fact, I may or may not post some videos on Facebook about my goings-on as a human, which I'm starting out as, and hopefully I will be able to survive long enough to give you an update on Sunday. I just realized my facial hair isn't really registering very well on camera. But yes, that's basically everything I've got from the humans versus zombies front. At this time, all I can say is I'm registered, and I'm eager to start surviving on my own coming up Wednesday. Well, actually, on my own is a little bit of a misnomer, because I decided to join a small team. This team, of course, is called Umbrella. Umbrella Corporation is kind of what it's named for, and basically I joined them because they're pretty small. They've only got 3 or 4 people right now. So they're not going to be great for standing up against huge hordes of zombies, but I've decided that it's good to have a small group of people who will be less likely to betray you because they're less likely to get caught out of all the hundreds of humans who are going to be playing this game. I think there may be about 600 registered possibly, and about 100 turn on the first day. So there you have it. That's the zombie plan. And I'll look forward to keeping you guys updated later as long as I survive. And if I'm a zombie, even though I won't technically have the brain capacity to operate a camera, I'll try and do it anyway. Well, that's pretty much all I can think of to talk about right now. I think I'll just show you around a little bit, take a hike back to the dorm, and say adios, my friends. So, actually I'll say adios beforehand, but never mind. Anyway, adios.
she was just a girl, she expected the world, but it flew away from her reach. So she ran away in her sleep and dreamed of paradise, paradise. Every time she closed her eyes. When she was just a girl, she expected the world, but it flew away from her reach, and the bullets catching her teeth. Life goes on, it gets so heavy, the wheel breaks the butterfly. Every tear a waterfall. In the night, the stormy night, she closed her eyes. In the night, the stormy night, away she flies. A dream of